Well, hello everybody, this is Mystic Games, welcome back to my channel. Whoa, 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 whoa. So we're in the dead zone in Subnautica 1, I'm just kind of chilling here. I wanted to give you guys something to look at as I talk. So I planned on doing a video a while back on ideas for Subnautica 2, which is the official name as of right now. They call it the next Subnautica, then they call it Subnautica 2. It seems like, from what we learned so far, they're trying to get back to their roots of this game and go slightly away from Subnautica Below Zero's path, where it's very linear and you are a character in the game, whereas my assumption is they're going to make it more like you are the character in the game exploring the world. That being said, we know early access, just for the little bit of news for anyone who might not know. Oh my god. It's two of them now. For anyone who might not know, early access won't be coming in 2024. They're talking, it's probably looking like 2025 now. Which is good in a case, because I'd rather have them push it back and have it more set up, you know, in that direction. There's been a little bit of discussion on what people would like to see, obviously, who've played Subnautica, as we're all fans here. So I'm going to kind of get into that. This is my video on what I would like to see in the next Subnautica, and I'm glad that they're kind of returning to their old roots. If you guys watch my review for Below Zero, you'll hear me with my little complaints. The only other news that we really know that's a big change for the game will be it's going to be a live service. They're not going to be charging, from our understanding, and it will be co-op 2 to 4 players. I did a very small video reading the forum posts that they had on Discord about that. So, if you guys want to check that out, you probably should link it to this video. That'd probably be a good idea. So, that being said, let's get into what I would like to see in the next game. I would also love for everyone to leave comments below on what they think should be in the next Subnautica game. Because I'm interested to hear if I miss anything or anyone has some really cool ideas. You never know. I'm a smaller channel, but who knows? Maybe they'll check it out and they'll take a look and like what you guys have to say. You never know. So, a big thing for me is the Leviathans, right? Like, this is scary. This is a scary Leviathan. This, we can see it. I'm going to show you guys on my screen. Oh! That's the other ghost Leviathan. It's swimming away because I'm back on terrain. There is a Reaper swimming around in this area. I was going to show you guys the Reaper. The Reaper right there in the distance swimming around is horrifying. I would argue the Reaper is scarier than these ghost Leviathans swimming around in the map. Although that's a super cool way of making it so you don't go into off the map. You know, put something there, it kills you. That being said, we need scary Leviathans. Leviathans need to be scary. They need to have an impact of fear, I feel like. I think that's part of what makes the game so good, is when you run into the Reaper for the first time, that is like an experience. Watching people run into the Reaper, like even on vids and stuff, is very entertaining. I think it's very important to have strong Leviathans, and I feel like the second game didn't do them as well. They focused less on the fear aspect. And I think the fear aspect of being underwater, trying to survive, and having giant, you know, Leviathan creatures try to eat you is a very big part of this game. That being said, I also love to plant flora, so we're going to go into that next. I like to do aquariums. If you guys watch my videos, I have a great video on both Below Zero and on Subnautica of me building aquariums and tribute rooms with like pictures of the things that you cannot get in aquariums. I would love to see them implement, especially if it's going to be live service, eggs for everything in the game, including the Leviathans. And instead of having like a big aquarium like this, I would like them to give you an option to have like a even larger one, maybe one that fits up this whole room, that you can put Leviathans in. I think that'd be really awesome for them to do. And that's something I'd like to see. I would also like to see more plantable flora. They didn't have a lot of time apparently in the last game, and therefore did not put a lot of plantable flora in the game. I'm a big fan on the collecting, and if you're going to make a game that's supposed to be replayable and stuff, I think that's a fun thing to do, is be able to like build your base, do plantable flora, and get all the fauna and get them into a nice aquarium so you can kind of just walk through your base and see everything the game has to offer without having to go out and search. Another thing that I would like to see them bring back is the stasis rifle. I think the stasis rifle is just an awesome tool to have in your disposal. If they don't want to make it a gun, make it like a stasis taser or something. You know, kind of like a Star Trek thing, where you have like a little handheld that shoots out a little ball that stuns them or something. I think that would be cool. But we definitely need the stasis rifle back. I'm not a big fan of not having that in the second game. Collect buildings, surviving is all important. You know, you got to have that feeling. It's a survival game after all. I'm not going to go too deep into that one. I want more exploration on the Alpha Peeper and the Alpha Ray. So in the first game, they put a lot of like stigmatization on the Alpha Peeper, and these are all derived from the Alpha Peeper, and this is derived from the Alpha Ray, and this ray is derived from the Alpha Ray. And there's a lot of that going on, and I would really like to see... I would love to see the Alpha Ray or the Alpha Peeper. I would also like to see like a lot of the old fauna and flora come back into the game, and obviously I'd like to see new. I would like to see, like, interestingly enough, I think them adding like island zones again, kind of like they did in the first game, and obviously the second game had a lot of land. I feel like adding land, if they can do it right, and this is the hardest part for me to talk about, because I would love to see more like snow stalkers, but I don't feel like snow stalkers played very well in the game, in the second one, so I would like a more... Maybe they don't grab you, but they bite you, you know, you don't get like tagged down and they do damage, it's like an animation. I'd rather almost just get hit and then be able to keep going, and it's essentially sustain health injury. But that's something kind of... Another thing I'd like to see would be there's actually like land that has some evolved creatures as well. A cool idea would be to kind of make a zone that's between the Meteor here and then, or the original Subnautica and Below Zero, and have kind of like an icy section to the north where you can kind of have those fish from the second... I shouldn't call it the second game, right, because they're using 2 for the new one. But Below Zero, and then having the fish from this game as well, and kind of having zones that maybe are kind of a mix of zones in particular. But those are kind of my thoughts on it. I'm intrigued to see what they do. I'm excited to play with my friends and build some bases and experience the game in a way that makes me want to come back and continue playing. It'll be very interesting to see how they do that, because that's like their goal, obviously, is to make it a survival game that you want to keep playing. And I think that's hard, because survival games tend to, you get towards the end, and you just can do whatever you want at that point. You can build whatever you want. You're kind of at peak performance, and you don't need to worry about much of anything. Simply like right now, I'm pretty much, you know, I've already beat the game. I have access to everything, which is super cool. But after a while, there's only so much to do. So it'd be intriguing to see how they go about that. I'm assuming they'll add like explorable zones, which would be very interesting. They would have to come up with... the best way they could do that is probably come up with like a lore reason where parts of floaters surface from like underneath or something. That would be actually a cool way of doing it. Finding like floaters or things underground that you're like, oh my god, these things are going to build up and then push up. That would actually be a really cool way of doing it, thinking about it right now. You guys can totally steal this from me. But like, you go into a cave and there's a bunch of floaters just like hugging the ceiling, and you're like, oh. And then obviously they come out with like a update where that gets pulled up, and then the landmass is now above you, and it becomes like a floating island, and there's like new fish in there. So that would actually be really cool for them to do. They have to come up with like really cool ideas, obviously, on their end. I don't want this video to be too long, but please leave down your comments below on what you guys would like to see, and how do you think they could keep the Subnautica 2 running in like a permanent state, because I'm very intrigued to hear what other people have to say about this. I'd love to see your guys' ideas and hear what you'd like to see, because I'm sure I'm missing a ton of stuff, and I'm sure you guys have a ton of great ideas. Anyways, this has been Mystic Games. If you guys like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Alright, later guys.